my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that, man. Look at it fly.
After decades of mysterious sightings, the Pentagon's top UFO investigator speaking exclusively to ABC News.
What surprised you most since you took over?
There are a number of things that surprised me.
The government probe covering hundreds of unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP, like this declassified U.S. Navy video.
Oh my gosh, dude.
The unusual object flying quickly through restricted airspace off the East Coast in 2015.
Look at it fly.
Some phenomena shocking everyday Americans too.
I swear to God, this is not a joke.
A Las Vegas family last month called 911 adamant extraterrestrial creatures had landed in their backyard.
They're like 9 foot, 10 foot tall. They look like aliens to us.
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles.
One whistleblower is so convinced, he says the government has pieces of alien spacecraft under lock and key.
Yeah, they're sophisticatedly engineered, certainly not by humans.
And Hollywood is feeding the fascination.
Now that's a proper introduction.
So do aliens exist? And are those unidentified aerial phenomena evidence they visited Earth? To separate fact from fiction, we went to the man leading a search for answers from inside the Pentagon.
I'm a long-term intelligence officer, scientist, and military officer.
Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, in his first television interview after a year on the job, told us everything is on the table.
What keeps you up at night?
Technical surprise. And that could be adversary technical surprise or extraterrestrial technical surprise.
Kirkpatrick leads the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO, created by Congress last year to detect, identify, and attribute mysterious objects of interest in the air, in outer space, and even underwater.
It's a big job.
Yes.
The top priorities, he says, are mitigating threats to the safety of military personnel and dispelling myths.
What's the most common misconception people have of UAPs or of the work you're doing?
That they're all the same thing and they're all extraterrestrial. And neither of those are true.
His office is investigating more than 800 cases of potential UAPs reported by military pilots and service members. Things like this video from 2019, Navy sailors recording glowing triangles above them, now believed to be ordinary drones distorted by night vision goggles. Many reports involve unusual metallic spheres seen floating in the sky, but most have been later identified as weather or spy balloons.
We have to go through the rigor of taking each one, matching it against our known objects and known catalogs, and then reviewing that, peer reviewing that, making sure that everybody's in agreement.
But there's not an explanation for everything, most notably the so-called Tic Tac incident off the California coast in 2004.
I can tell you, I think it was not from this world.
David Fravor is a retired Navy F-18 pilot who spotted the object seeming to move at impossible speeds. He spoke with ABC News in 2017.
We get a call from USS Princeton. He gives us a bearing range and altitude report. He's calling a contact force that they want us to investigate. So as we start driving out there, I said, what are we looking for? And he said, we don't know. He said, we've seen these objects, and they hang out at 20,000, then they go straight back up, above 80,000 and disappear. There's 2 people in each jet, so 4 heads, 8 eyeballs, and we start looking around. And right about that time, I was like, dude, do you see that? I go, what is that? So we're looking down, and there's a disturbance in the water. Right next to it was this little white object that looks like a Tic Tac, and it's just above the surface of the water, and it's moving around left, right, forward, back, just random, no controlled thing. There is no rotor wash, there is no jet wash. I say, hey, I'm gonna go down and check it out. We start coming down, so now we're in a clockwise flow, going from 12 to 3, and it starts going from 6 to 9. And it's coming up, and we're going down. We start to cut across, it rapidly accelerates, climbs past our altitude, and disappears. That's the last we saw of it.
What's your best guess of what happened there?
It's really hard to guess on this, and I don't like to guess.
So have you hit a dead end with this one then?
The more things that I see that resemble a Tic Tac, then I can get more and more information about what that is.
Kirkpatrick says between 95 and 98% of cases reviewed by his office are readily explainable. Large birds, balloons, debris, or drones. But a small number remain a mystery.
So that 2 to 5%, which are anomalous incidents, which you're still looking into, could potentially be extraterrestrial activity?
So we are going to follow our data and our investigations wherever it goes, right? So I have a full range of hypotheses.
So you can't rule it out?
I can't rule it out, but I don't have any evidence that says that yet.
Most Americans believe intelligent life exists beyond Earth, and a majority say UAPs under investigation are likely proof of contact. Some former Pentagon insiders claim the government has more evidence than it's publicly acknowledged. Kirkpatrick says he's seen nothing to back up those claims.
You can say categorically you've seen no convincing,
I have seen
confirmable
no
evidence of intact spacecraft kept by the U.S. government?
No. I have seen nothing that leads me to that conclusion.
Is it possible there is some secret program that you're just not aware of?
I don't think so. I have access to anything and everything I need.
Why do you think these whistleblowers are coming forward?
Well, one, I think the recent law, which extended whistleblower protections to them and named AARO as the authorized disclosure authority, opens the door for them to come and tell us exactly what they think they saw or know about.
You believe them?
I believe that they believe what they're telling me, and my job is it's not a question of belief, right? It's a question of what can I go research.
Investigating UAPs has bipartisan support on Capitol Hill.
My priority is that we understand the full range of threats posed by our adversaries in all domains.
Multiple congressional committees have held hearings.
There is something there measurable by multiple instruments, and yet it seems to move in directions that are inconsistent with what we know of physics or science more broadly.
And even the White House now weighing in.
We're not saying what they are or what they're not. We're saying that there's something our pilots are seeing. We're saying it has had an effect on some of our training operations, and so we want to get to the bottom of it.
Top Democrats and Republicans have called for greater transparency, proposing legislation this month that would force the government to publicly release records on UAPs within 25 years of when they were created.
So a lot of these allegations crop up again and again over history.
Do you think extraterrestrial life is out there?
I think it's statistically unrealistic to think it isn't. I mean, given the vastness of the universe.
Are you going to find it on your watch?
Well, wouldn't that be fun? I mean, that would be probably the best outcome of this job.